Hi everyone, Mary here from Croyden Crochet. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet the Pique stitch. This is actually a stitch that I used to create my latest pattern, the Sunset Stripes blanket. If you are interested in that pattern, which I will put up on the screen here for you, you can click the link below in the description that will take you to that blog post. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you to please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a video as soon as I upload it. Alright, so to get started on this stitch, let's talk about the materials that you're going to need. Here I just have some worsted weight yarn, and I'm going to be using a 6mm crochet hook, and I'm also going to be using a 9mm crochet hook. Now, I'm only going to be using the 9mm for the foundation chain only. And the reason why we need to use a bigger hook for the foundation chain is because when we work up the Pique stitch, you're actually combining two stitches into one. So to kind of make sure that that stitch can fit into the chain, we need to make a looser chain. Otherwise, it will be very tight. So we're going to go ahead and grab our yarn, and I'm just going to create a slip knot, and you can work this slip knot however you want. So I'm going to grab my bigger hook, and if you don't have a 9mm, that's okay. Just try to make sure that you have a hook that is at least 2 sizes bigger than the hook that you're using for your yarn. So this stitch is actually worked up in any multiple, so I'm going to go ahead and work my chain. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. You can see that it is slightly bigger for this yarn. So just go ahead and work up a chain in any multiple that you like. I'm just going to go ahead and work about 20 chains, and I will meet back up with you. Okay, so I just went ahead and worked up 20 chains. So what I'm going to do is now switch to my 6mm hook. And then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. So to work the Pique stitch, we're going to be working in that 4th chain from our hook. So here's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. You can see it's slightly bigger. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that 4th chain, and then pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook back into that same chain, and pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops. So that is your first Pique stitch, and we're going to repeat that in the next chain. So essentially what we're making here is a double crochet and a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into that next chain, and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 as if you're making a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook back into that same chain and pull up a loop as if you're making a half double crochet, and then pull through all 4 loops on the hook. And we're just going to repeat that across your chain. I'll work that one more time for you. Yarn over, insert your hook into that next chain and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. There's your double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook back into that same chain and pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. So just continue with that pattern all across your chain. Okay, so I just finished up my last peak stitch here in the last chain. So now we're going to work our next row. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to turn our work. And this chain 3 does not count as a stitch. So we're going to work our first peak stitch into that first stitch here, the same stitch that your chain 3 is coming out of. So to work the peak stitch, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook back into that same stitch, and pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops. And we're just going to repeat that in every stitch across. So yarn over, insert your hook into that next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook back into that same stitch, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that across our row, just making a peak stitch in every stitch across until I come to the end of my row. Okay, so I'm coming up on my last stitch of row 2, and I'm just going to work the last peak stitch into that stitch. And you can see here that we have that chain 3. And because this does not count as a stitch, we're not going to work into the top of that stitch. So to work row 3, we're just going to do the same thing we did in row 2. So chain 3, I'm going to turn our work and work that first peak stitch in that first stitch here. And essentially, that is all you're going to do for the rest of the pattern. Just repeating row 2 and making a peak stitch in every stitch across. So I'm going to go ahead and work up a few more rows so you can see how this stitch looks when it's all worked up. Okay, so I just went ahead and worked up a few more rows. You can see how it just creates this really pretty striped pattern, but it also creates this beautiful texture as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If there's something about this stitch that you didn't quite understand, please just leave me a message in the comment section and I will get back to you and answer any questions that you have. Thanks again, guys. Be sure to click the subscribe button to my YouTube channel to receive all of my latest videos and updates.